I'm Zoe Johnson and I'm here in the Ferguson Valley in the area called Henty, and I've been here for coming up to 3 years. When I came here, this was an old dairy farm and the cows were allowed to roam because the only access that they had was at the dam just next to the creek. And it was really dry, very hard. It's got a gravel loam base. There wasn't any water flowing at all, no vegetation, because, as I say, the cows had been allowed to go through, so there was a lot of kikuyu, but that had been all chewed down and grazed, and a lot of what they say pogging through the creek beds, just a little local creek, but it does flow down into the Leschenault Catchment and into the Leschenault Estuary. In summer it pretty much dries up mostly, although since we've done some work and put some plants in and made a lot of effort to slow the water down, there are some pools that are staying through the year now, which is good. So we call it the Winter Creek, but it's actually got water in it all year round. Getting the plants in, ironically, even though that's hard work, is possibly the easiest part of the process. And it's really, it has a really good feel-good factor. I had some help through the local catchment council, the Leschenault Catchment Council, and the Aboriginal Workabout Crew, Danju. And they used augers to get it in, which I highly recommend. Then watering the plants throughout the first summer, we used a fire truck and a hose and pumped water from the dam. So we were hand watering, close to 2,000 plants. And then weed control, because this area has got quite a lot of seed bank in it. We sprayed once, but we were reluctant to use too many chemicals, so weed control then has become quite a manual thing, which is slashing and whippersnipping, and that's pretty labour intensive. Hopefully, now that the plants themselves have established and they're bigger than the weeds, we'll have to focus less on that. So to wander through and see the diversity of the plants, all from this area, so they're native, and to see them establishing themselves. They're still competing with weeds, but they're holding their ground and they're making their own, and this is now a green belt, and it makes me feel really proud. Actually, I feel really good. I've just been really heartened by how quickly the plants have found water and established themselves. So we watered them for the first summer, and everyone kept saying, if you get them through the first summer, you're going to be okay. And we have, so we're coming up to our second summer now, and some of them are taller than me. There are red-tailed black cockatoos, there are carnabies, there are frogs. I think the cows would love to be in here if I let them. The trouble with cows is they don't just go and pick out the kikuyu, they all also chew down every native plant that I've put in and put over every stake and tree guard, so you can't let them in, sadly, as much as I would love to give them the feed. This was something that, from me personally, I wanted to do anyway, but then to discover that there was funding available, and that it was quite practical funding as well, and that it involved fencing and expertise, and that there were people that could really help with some of the advice and guidance. It wasn't just about the money, it was about, as I say, that support and that teamwork, and a little bit more strategy. It wasn't just me trotting along the creek shoving plants in. There was a lot more thought to it, and that was because I had met the Catchment Council and had become part of the HEWA program. I would never have been able to achieve what's been done in such a short space of time on my own, and there are people that want to come and help, so grab that support if you can. That would be my biggest recommendation. I have a lot of optimism that in 5 to 10 years' time, that rather than being that desolate, hard, inhospitable landscape that it was when I bought the property, that hopefully there'll be pockets of shade and more habitat, and so I'm really excited about looking at it over the next 5 to 10 years. And it feels very valuable and like a legacy, really. Yeah.